I never thought I would be one of those guys in that, redneck family situation with extra kids and family members just crawling out of closets and cupboards and under the beds, as you can see behind me, screaming and shouting and misbehaving. This is not a professional podcast. This is not the quality you expect from someone in the business for 40 years. So, what I'm going to do is something evil and atrocious to this family behind me, including that funny looking dog and that strange woman who may or may not be my wife. I will get rid of them. And when we come back, it's Abanita, not Avantika. It's Abantika Ghosh. Yes, journalists who's cracked the system and entered into the underbelly of lockdown to tell us all. That's in a second. But first, a little magic to make this family disappear. Lots of people during lockdown are thinking the same thing. Ow! Hi, Avantika. Welcome to this fabulous show called what is it called? Cyrus says. Still looking for a very big sponsor. Hopefully, this one webcast that we have with you will change everything for all of us. Lots to talk about. This book will change the world, but I'm a little confused because, as usual, I do my research by not reading the book. I always believe that the lazier you are as a podcaster, the better your audience will take to you. Maybe I'll be proven wrong. Are you I know it's a stupid question to ask, literally, but I was just reading whatever I could. So, are we talking about slightly? Is it almost like you're praising the government and the people of India for the lockdown? Is it a tongue-in-cheek sort of point? Because I'm a little confused. I want to just, otherwise, I look like a complete idiot asking you any questions after that. So, just if there is, if there is a slant or if there is an angle, I just want to be clear about it. Okay,
Mhm.
so and then we'll of course get into everything.
Okay. So no, I'm not praising the government. I have actually tried to be as objective as possible, and also given the fact that I am still a journalist and I have to
You're
still
the
go back to
only
some of.
media person like that in the whole of India. Huh? There's no one left who's objective. So please, this is a huge position. Huh?
Because no, that's actually because I have to go back to these people and ask them for stories again. These
Correct.
some of these people I meet every day on the beat. So I couldn't like go overboard. I mean, if I was doing this book say 5 years down the line when I'm not a working journalist anymore, it would probably have read differently.
Why would you not be a working journalist in 5 years?
No, no, I'm just giving an
Oh,
example.
acha, you're
So
just throwing it out. And I,
5
like
or
an idiot, am
50
taking it literally. I'm so sorry.
5 or 50, if I was
Yeah.
not a working journalist, then this book would certainly have read differently. I would have written the book differently. But no, I had to sort of toe a fine balance between writing a bit of what I felt and also ensuring that my I mean officers
So
still continue to meet me. Yeah.
fair enough. So I understand what you're saying. So you're basically you've tried to be as unemotive as possible and be more clinical about the entire situation. It's called Billions Under Lockdown, and now I will start from the formal beginning. First and formally, it's Abantika. All my Bengali friends will scream at me. It is not Avantika, as we were told offline by our research team of 13 morons, and then of course the ultimate grand wazir moron myself. So let me first pronounce it correctly. Is it Abantika? Am I saying it as close as
Let's
possible for a non-Bengali?
Yes, you're
Because
saying it
as
brilliantly.
the BJP found out in Bengal, if you don't get your Bengali culture right, you out on your ass in 2 minutes. With due respect to Yogi's Hindi-speaking vegetarian blasting premise, which didn't work, we'll discuss that as well. Quick word on Avantika Ghosh. 20 years she's been a journalist, passionate and talks about public health and popular science communication. Graduated from Presidency College, Kolkata, where the great Subhash Chandra Bose slapped the vice principal or principal. I remember on the seventh step. I've shot that for my own MTV show, which nobody watched. She did a master's in physiology. Hey, physiology, is that correct? From the
Yes.
University of Calcutta. You must tell us about that. And has worked with the Statesman, all iconic papers, Statesman, Times of India, and Indian Express. I mean, this is the cream. Currently, she is with the Print, where she heads the team covering COVID-19. Now, let's be honest, there is no other team at the moment. So even the sports coverage includes COVID-19 and bubbles. Keenly interested, and this is a lovely point. Keenly interested in non-cricket sports. This is so for me. This is growing up with Bengalis. This is so strong that you pushed it out there. Don't you ever bother to talk to me about cricket? Cricket is not a sport. So which is your favorite? And please don't tell me football.
Tennis.
Tennis. So we are
Yeah.
missing Wimbledon, which is going on live right now as we speak for this silly podcast.
Yeah, but it's okay. These are the earlier rounds.
Are
So,
you are
and I
you
would.
upset with Osaka?
No, not really. See, I think she gave us reason to discuss some very important mental health things. I mean, it was amazing. And I read people talking about sports who I never thought would write about sports, and some very beautiful pieces. One of these was actually talking about, I don't know. So, To Kill a Mockingbird, there was this character called Boo Radley. So
Yeah, of
from
course. Happily.
yeah,
Huh?
from Osaka to Boo Radley. So I never thought of Boo Radley as a
Oh, that's
mental
a good
health
point.
case.
Yes.
Yeah,
Recluse, people thought he was a monster. Then he goes and saves the
eh,
kids. What a
yeah.
connection. Who did that? Who brought this connection?
So this is Professor Srinath Reddy, K. Srinath Reddy. He's
Wow.
chairman of PHFI. I was reading this piece and I couldn't help messaging him and saying that, sir, I think
How
I need to
interesting. Yeah.
go back and read the book again, because really when I read it, I don't think I had any perspective on this. And it was, I mean, it really sort of
God, you're
got
so
me
right. Or
thinking.
he's so right. Boo Radley
Yep.
was the perfect example of a person with mental issues, in the sense
Yes.
depression, etc., etc. Couldn't, cope with people, didn't want to
Yeah.
interact, all
Yeah.
that, and was perceived to be a monster. I, of course, have attacked Naomi Osaka so much for being this spoiled, super rich, superstar, super achiever who couldn't give a little bit of press conference at the end of a match. But so I won't get into there. Otherwise, you'll start smashing me around. Uh, our grass courts are more painful. We'll talk if we have time. We'll come back and talk about that. But we've got so much to talk about here because I can't tell you. This is my. I want to ask you 250,000 questions about billions under lockdown. So why don't you start by telling us? You said again. I'm always worried you're being tongue in cheek, and I come across as an idiot. You're saying we did not badly in
This
this
is the
situation,
first wave. This is the first wave.
but
Yes.
even for the first wave, you're saying
Yeah.
we handled it okay.
No, we didn't handle it okay. It just turned out okay. That's that. So my last sentence in the book
Oh,
actually is India was saved either by God or by science, by which I'm really meaning that it was saved by circumstances that had got nothing to do with us, nothing to do with our planning, our management. It just went up and went down. It never challenged us. And now when I look at the COVID situation, or when I look at the few months in the past, it was like India reached the battlefield and the enemy hadn't even reached. We just said, oh, we've drove them away, and we declared victory, we celebrated, we came back, we retreated into our wherever we were, rested and all that, and then the enemy came. So and that is, I mean, honestly, um you know the way my book ends. And so people have, I mean, I had actually approached somebody for a forward on my book, and a very senior officer, and she told me she read a little bit of the book, an IS officer, and she told me, no, sorry, I can't endorse this will get me in trouble. um and remember, I have really tried to keep a balance. I have not gone all out, but it was easier to do it in the first wave, because really we
it's the
had
first
not
time.
seen anything. Yeah,
Correct.
no, we'd not seen anything. Nothing had
Correct.
happened really. Now when I look and when I start thinking about a book on the second wave, I think the most challenging part is going to be,
How
to remain unbiased,
how
because
to
the
excuse
kind
the
of
humanity?
yeah, kind of, the kind of death and destruction we saw in the second wave, it's very difficult to sort of stay dispassionate anyway. The number of colleagues I have lost, and one huge grouse I have on the second wave is that, see, when the government needed us, they told us, oh, I'm sorry, um
It's all right.
just a
Don't
sec.
worry. Video is less important. Audio is more important. Don't let us
Okay.
lose the sound. Huh.
Okay, so the government told us, one of the first orders, it said that journalists are essential workers. So, we need you on the field, we need you to work. And that's what we did
Right.
all throughout this time. But when the time came for vaccinations, we were never there. And we were out. Everybody was seeing us, every day, press conferences we were attending. And one
Correct.
after the other,
And
people started dying because they wouldn't give us vaccines. So many
correct.
photographers, journalists died. Yeah, please go on.
You guys were covering, or rather, the fraternity was covering everything. So, in a sense, you're even more endangered because it's not like you're doing one beat. You're doing everything from the politician
That's
to
right.
the bureaucrat to the hospital to the common man, Aam Aadmi, road, transport, infrastructure. So, in many ways, you were the most exposed.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I thought. And it was, we were actually, talking to these people and saying, so why not us? that I thought was really
So why
strange
not?
and really petty.
Why
Um,
not?
I think that their reasoning was that why you, so many others, so are we. If you're not,
So there's no
uh,
answer basically. It's just
yeah.
that your lobby wasn't strong enough, and so whoever's was strong enough or appears to be doing more work, tangible work, I would suppose they went with that. But let me just get back to the lockdown number one, where you said maybe because it was our debut, as you say, so you've been a little bit more open, generous with your judgment, if there is such a thing.
Hmm.
But are you saying to us that in the second innings, completely we are to take more of the blame, as in the authorities? Let's call them authorities.
Hmm.
We like Harry Potter. Cannot say names. Huh.
Absolutely. There's no doubt. Numbers are going up every day, and we hold elections, we hold Kumbh Mela, and and the and
We've
the
said all
royal
this.
the royal snub. When I asked this question in a press conference, the royal snub that we will decide, and if we have curtailed the Kumbh Mela from 3 months to 1 month, really, is that a reply? And then you hold elections. You mentioned Bengal elections, 8 phases. Who does it?
It
And
never
then the
ended.
prime minister,
Yeah.
prime minister himself going and talking about big crowds and all that. I don't know. See that, and again, this is the thing.
Avantika, they said 1,500 or less people. You think they could control all that at the rallies? We saw pictures and of all that. I mean, not just in Bengal. Wherever we've had elections in the spate of this 1 year plus, it's a farce when it comes to the politics, the religious issues. I mean, it's like they've got a tick. They can just do what they want, and that's it. Yet they want us to stay in the building. I've never understood this really. While 1 million
Yeah,
people have a bath together in Kum. I mean, it's just so funny.
not just that. I think it all started with the foundation of the Ram Temple. And remember, this was we were still in the middle, bang in the middle of the first wave. There was nothing to
Right.
tell you that numbers. In fact, the numbers we reached our peak 1.5 months after the Ram Temple foundation was laid. What was the hurry? And this is the kind of messaging that really spells out to the people that, oh, this is all over, this is all bullshit, please go and do whatever you want to do.
But is it fair to say for all India that we have been terrible? Or will you say that some states have performed better? Some administrators have been more far seeing? Also, let's play devil's advocate for a moment. It was a tough deal. Like my poor Uddhav Bhai, who inherited Maharashtra 4 days before it started. I mean, from taking the rug from under the BJP's feet, suddenly they've inherited this like crown of thorns, literally. And so,
Hmm.
one initially, I think a lot of people supported him and felt bad for him because what to do. Everybody realized this
Hmm.
is beyond the capacity and capability of normal people. You need a Caesar or a huge Churchill or something, which we didn't seem to have.
So I think, yeah, some people definitely understood the disease better. For example, so before coming to that, I think you mentioned Maharashtra. Maharashtra is to my mind one of the very few states which has actually been honest about its numbers, reasonably honest, comparatively more honest.
By
Um,
Indian standards, yes.
by Indian standards, I was talking to some friends from ISI. Sorry, that's Indian Statistical Institute, not ISI
Oh my
Pakistan.
God, that's the end of all of us. Yeah.
So, and they were telling me that, look, just look at some of the graphs. For example, the West Bengal graph, the disease graph, it is plateauing so funnily. It's not peaking. It's reached somewhere and then it's plateaued.
So
Earlier
you're
also,
saying it's
yeah,
fake?
tell me.
No, sorry, I'm
Yeah,
sorry to interrupt, but are you
I'm
saying West Bengal
sure.
numbers are
I'm
wrong?
sure there are some problems with numbers. That's what
Let's go
people
to our
have.
favorite state of UP.
No, before we go to the favorite state of UP, let's come to one state that I think really understood the disease before all of us, and that's Kerala. Uh, you
Yeah,
know,
at least in the first phase.
no, even in the second phase, look at
Well, he
their
won the
death
election.
numbers.
He was an
Look at the death.
incumbent who won. Yeah.
Yeah, look at the death numbers. The Kerala understood that
So you
how
you
many
tell us.
cases. Hmm.
No, so I mean, this is a very complicated answers, I'm sure. But so what is the difference? Why did Kerala get it right? Maharashtra almost get it right, and UP and a few other states absolutely, sound fraudulent from start to finish.
Um, um, I can't say why they got it right, but why Kerala could implement what it got right very well is because of the amazing public health infrastructure in that state. You walk into any public primary care center in any village, and it's probably better than, I mean, some nursing homes in Delhi. I'm sure, some. shady nursing homes in Delhi. It's way better in a small village, a PHC in Kerala, and I have seen it. I was really shocked. Even though I was expecting something wonderful, I was still shocked. It
What
was so
about
good.
how much do you give to discipline of people? We always make fun of each other, saying we don't listen, we don't follow the rules, we bend everything, we do what we call jugad. Uh, what do you think about that? Is Kerala better at that discipline than perhaps the rest of the states?
I don't think so. I mean, Kerala,
They're
Kerala.
equally bad people in Kerala. Good to know.
I think so. Yeah, yeah. But, after Onam, they had a usual spike last year. So
Celebrations, yeah,
yeah, celebrations. Then the elections that were coming. In fact, one of the reasons why Kerala rose somewhere in October, November was all the rise in political activity, the elections that were coming, and there were local body elections happening. So all of those things. I think when you put a lot of people together in one place, I mean, by place I mean anything open, closed, whatever, they tend to behave really the same. It's mob mentality. So, you
correct.
know,
Yeah. Let's move from Kerala and Maharashtra to the north now. Um,
okay.
so because I asked you pointedly, I want to know because I don't think it's difficult to put a blueprint across India, is it? Because each state
Mhm.
has a little
Yeah.
different way of functioning. The people have responded differently. As you say, some are fraudulent numbers, some are slightly more honest numbers. You don't even know yet. What do you think about UP, Uttarakhand, the ones who are getting a really bad name?
Um, UP, I think, is has undercounted. I mean, I firmly believe UP has undercounted deaths, even if the kinds of logic that are being given is that bodies flow in the Ganges all the time. It's just that now you have discovered them. But I am absolutely certain UP undercounted, and I'm certain also because
Deliberately,
UP's
deliberately,
deliberately or
inefficiency or
otherwise,
deliberately. Okay, you want to keep
both.
yourself safe. Fair enough. I agree
No,
with you. I am
no,
all for that.
no,
Gray
no,
area.
I'm not. No, but the thing is, see, even to do it deliberately, the kind of public health coverage you need, UP doesn't have. You
Okay,
need
so
to
it's the
be there.
antithesis of Kerala, is what you're saying, where
Yeah,
isn't anything in place. So it's not even
yeah.
like their fault because they just caught without any capacity to do anything.
It's historical fault, legacy.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. Vikas,
Yeah,
progress,
yeah,
make our
completely.
lives better. Okay, great. So let's get back to the first wave again, which is what the book essentially is about.
Hmm.
Did India respond comparatively to the rest of the world, the West especially, and all those female leaders, female-led countries which did well across the globe? Did we? What is our scorecard? What is the report? If you had to give a report,
I think. So let me put it this way: lockdown is an ace. It is, when you're fighting an infectious disease like COVID, lockdown is certainly an ace. But you don't play the ace right in the beginning when you don't know what other people's hands are, and you just exhaust your ace, and you exhaust it in
right?
such a way that, see, there's a particular time for a lockdown, and the time is not when all India there are 536 cases. The time is when you're starting to get stressed, because remember, when you did lockdown, there were multiple other things that were affected. Your preparations, how your medicines, your even research, something like research, even getting or building those ventilators. There's a book on how difficult it was to build a ventilator during lockdown, planning a ventilator over Zoom calls. The thing is,
Right.
we didn't need a lockdown then, and we definitely didn't need a countrywide lockdown, because at that point the disease was in 50 districts. Why
Right.
do you shut down the entire country? Lockdown should be localized, and lockdown should be when you're starting to get stretched. So I'm not saying you delay it as much as Delhi did this time, because Delhi really waited for the thing to go out of hand to declare a lockdown, which is why we had so many deaths. Because remember, what happens is, why do you lock down? You lock down because you want to break the chain of transmission, and you want to space out cases so that your health
And destroy
facilities
my mind is also
completely.
aimed at me because for example right now we are supposed to be in level 1 as per the scorecard in terms of our positivity rate, doubling rate, mortality rate, all that should be in level 1, which means it must be 90% open city, Mumbai I'm talking about. But
Mhm.
he's keeping us at level 3, saying they don't want to ever go back into a lockdown. So we're just going on with this level 3 where you're shut by 4, etc., etc., etc. So I'm asking you, what logic is there for extended lockdown? Because economy just starts crippling. People have lost jobs. I have a lot of friends in different sectors who are out of work, and these are from good backgrounds. So you can imagine people from less economic backgrounds how they have suffered. So, like, what is there a what is the answer? I know I'm being very harsh and I'm a big critic of lockdowns, and you've written the book on lockdown, so you're the almanac now. You'll be the Google that they turn to ask this is correct, this is incorrect. Is there a time frame, Abantika? Is there a time frame that has to be followed? Should it be too short or too long? I mean, what is you tell me?
No, it should not be too long. And I think right now, our state governments are just so scared of
Yeah,
opening up and getting you know that's not the way you do. I mean, you have to reach a point where you are equipped to handle it and you have the confidence to handle it. You can't ask people to live on forever and ever in this strange kind of situation, losing jobs, losing livelihoods, losing their minds, for God's sake. And
exactly. And you're letting private individuals with cars go to work, for example. But if the buses and trains are not working, then there's so much population cannot go to work. So the divide is even worse. I mean, if people sit and think about all these small points, you start adding them up, and you're causing more disparity, more unequal distribution, more anger. More anger, which doesn't heal.
and also remember, there are other diseases. COVID is not the only animal in the zoo. There are many other diseases where people can't go and get treatments because you've shut everything down.
Correct.
That's number one. Number two, our kids have been out of school for what, 1.5 years now. If
Put
you
them in
just
school, Abantika. I can't stand them. Put them in the
yeah,
school.
and poor things, they can't stand us. And I,
Yeah,
I don't think I think their social skills, as it is, this is a generation that has limited social skills. I think they're just
correct.
gone. They're just
Gone.
glued to screens
Imagine you're
all the
17,
time.
18, 15, 13, and where you should be surrounded by friends, you're just surrounded by old people in a house. I mean, it's really like a proper crime, sort of punishment torture, if you ask me. I'm thinking back to
Absolutely.
my childhood. If I at 13, 14 was locked up instead of playing with the kids in the lane, etc., trying to chase girls or, go to have a drink with the boy. Okay, 14, I wasn't drinking, but a little later. But my son turned 18 in the middle of this lockdown. He couldn't have a beer with anyone. I mean, that it's a great moment for boys across the world,
Yeah.
boys and girls across the world. And I mean, you can't get it back now. 18's gone now. That's it. So these are unspoken crimes. But for me, they're terrible. And that's why this lockdown going on and on because they are scared and nobody holds them accountable for their fear. What are we supposed to do? We're dying from all directions anyway. And as you
Yes. Yeah.
go on,
Go
sorry.
on, please. Go on. Go on.
No, I wanted to just ask you the importance of this fear paranoia that they spread with this lockdown also. Dealing with urban Indians who are all so scared and anxious all the time. They worry about everything. We had a solar eclipse in the middle last year, I remember, and everybody in my lane from 6 in the morning shut everything, even though the eclipse was at 12:05, 5 minutes past noon.
Hmm.
And, out of fear. Because now educated people had become so worried and anxious that they believe everything. So you just
Yeah.
have to say, research says, or WhatsApp something, and bus, ho gaya, they believe.
Yeah. Yeah.
So how will we heal all that? Make people
Mm.
slightly normal again.
That's actually a point I make in the book. From the beginning, we spun this narrative of fear to keep people indoors. And that is so wrong again, because public health communication is not about scaring people into doing whatever you want them to do. Because if you scare people, or if you bully people, which is what we were
Yes.
doing, police was
They
beating
bullied
up.
us.
Yeah, they
Yes.
did. And that is why there are so many violations, because we didn't internalize those lessons. You told me something to do, like from your high perch, without explaining why I need to do it. And I did it while you were still sitting there and you were looking on at me, and you were threatening me with challans and lathis and whatever else. But the moment you looked somewhere else, I stopped using the mask. Because I had not, you did not make me
Correct.
understand. There was no concerted effort. And remember, and this is very strange, apparently we were trying to save money, but ads on masking, on hand hygiene, all of these things, they somewhere in the middle of the first wave, they just disappeared. And when I asked my friends in the government, they said, no, sorry, we are doing this in different ways. We've decided not to spend money on ads. We have a lot of other commitments. That is such a stupid thing to say. When this is a message that you should drive home to people every day, every night, I mean 10,000 times a day, because this is what is going to keep you safe. And now I know, I mean, I took the vaccine, but I know what saved me through all of this was just mask.
Also, staying away from Indians. I've been saying it from the beginning of time. If you see an Indian, stay away. If you stay away, you're safe. But you're right. And also the superstars that they would use, or people on Insta and all that, to make comments saying wear mask, stay safe, in an insincere fashion. I think that drove the point into another direction, because you see rich people with their mansions and swimming pools and internal gyms and big staff, they are not affected by and large by anything, because somebody else
Yeah.
goes out to buy the provision, somebody else, and their life remains, barring work, the life remains sort of under control. And then they act with a lot of empathy and talk on camera. I don't, it just irritates you more, because that person is not really suffering. So I don't know the point of that either. And above all, I think the attitude of the police has been horrible across India. As in,
Yeah.
no one talks to people and tries to help them understand, ye mask pehna hai, ye karna hai, keep a distance, whatever. Nobody spoke like an uncle figure. They
Mm.
I fought with my walking my dogs with them all the time. After we got a high court ruling, we got a Supreme Court ruling, we got Manika Gandhi's Animal Welfare Board. Everybody saying that we're allowed to walk our dogs. The guy saying make the dog do his business in the house. Now I've
Yeah.
explained to this moron that dogs will not do their business in the house because of classical conditioning that we have imposed on them. Plus, in their DNA, especially male dogs, like to go outside the territory to do whatever.
Yeah.
Now, how do
Yeah.
we won't? But you can't reason. Like, oh, andale, andale. The moron should be chatting with me, and we should be having a discourse about this. This is what democracy should have been. I understand it's strained times, but their public relations of police is terrible. That's why, if one day a policeman gets beaten up by a group in Chennai. I read, one cop being bashed up just outside Chennai during one lockdown. I'm not saying it's the right thing to do, but I understand people losing their mind because you're just coming here as a bully. We're already bullied, and now you're bullying us more. How does that help?
Yeah. And we made policemen our frontline public health messengers, which
Yeah,
is beyond my
worse.
understanding, beyond
Yes,
anything. The last
yes.
thing you should do is that.
Correct, really. And they're so untrained in a normal way, to talk nicely, civilly,
Yeah,
joke and
exactly.
a smile. I mean, old ladies got bags in her hand. You're coming and shouting at one guy for not wearing a mask. Help the old lady across the road with the. I was watching the guy. But they're so zealous about this stopping people in this aggressive fashion that they forget that it's not really about that. It's about communicating to bring people together collectively to do something in a way to with a positive message. This is a very negative attitude, and I felt that
Yeah.
you started feeling fear walking in the lane with your dogs. My wife likes to run in the morning, run away from me, as you can expect. We had to run looking for police. I mean, almost now you understand what Kashmir must have been like, or a torn country, civil war, what happened in Eastern Europe or Rwanda, all these places where where people live in fear actually for days and days.
Yeah.
You got a taste of that, and I fear that the
Yeah.
police had too much power, and the bureaucrats and the ministers and MLAs had too much power, and they tasted that and enjoyed it also.
Yeah. Without trying to do anything to alleviate sufferings when the time came.
No,
So
no.
this is the thing. And this was one of the most it really angered me so much when there were no beds in Delhi, and we were getting requests from people saying that, please, can you do this, please sir, can you get this. So there are these single like 3-word messages coming from senior IAS officers saying there are no beds available, madam, that's it. you know
Yeah.
you enjoy so much power. You have brought this on us. Yes, tell
Avantika,
me.
you are preaching to the choir. I cannot accept that the person in that position with an emergency situation has a message of non-positivity. He should be saying, I am trying. That's the very least he should be saying. He should call you up
Yeah.
and say, I'm trying, I'm self-walking to Panchil Park to take a bed out of some rich person's home which has an extra one to give it to you. I'm saying they can't just shut the book and say, both okay, we can't deal with these people. So in a
Mm.
way, leadership has been tested, has it not been? Let's be honest. This is where leadership really has to either shine, or just you can see that these are people with feet of clay. And this is not just for India now. This is for a lot of the world.
That's actually the thing. I talk about this in the book. So when the migrant crisis happened, it was such a sight seeing people walk, just walk like,
40
night
crores
and day. Yeah.
40 crores is a conservative number. Is that like genocide? I mean, we talk about those numbers and you compare that to anything. One of the worst things in the world, 800,000 in Rwanda, Eastern Europe, Bosnia, Herzegovina. We look at those kind of figures in recent past, I'm trying to think. And I
Mm.
mean, it's right up there. 40 crore people were just, and this is our fault. I've discussed it on the podcast so many times. This is us urban Indians who just threw people out who work for you. Just get out, lock the gate. I want them all
Mm.
punished, Abantika. I want all these urban people, my neighbors, I want them flogged in public. Can you come here with a whip? Because no, it is their fault. They threw out their menials, their workers, their drivers, the people who lived. They just without a plan, just go.
Yeah.
Aage se right maro, Bihar aega. You're
Yeah.
left alone in Mumbai with nothing. and
Yeah.
that's it. And what about the psychological damage? Forget that they have to now manage financially, but they're just suddenly left like an orphan. And this is
No,
crores
but
of people trying to find home. And
we
what
are
did we
paying the
do?
price of that now.
Authorities.
We are paying the price of that now. So there's nobody. You look for a carpenter, there's nobody. Everybody has gone home. So your
Correct.
entire support system is gone, because when they needed support, you closed your doors. So I told my dhobi here, at some point when the lockdown was over, but they wouldn't still let him come in. I said, you please come, I'll fight for you. But I think he got scared. He said, nahi, aap chhod do. I mean, I'll come whenever they let me. This is not worth it.
No, no. Across the
It's
big cities of Mumbai, Delhi are not the only ones. Across the big cities, there have been crimes. These are very inhumane crimes that have been committed, if you ask me, in terms of people who work for you, who depend on you, and you just turn your back on them. And locking building gates drives me mad. If I could make a movie on that, like they're keeping out the if you just lock the gate, there's no virus, and just keep
Yeah,
everybody out. It's so aggressive and negative. Why? It's got nothing to do with anything. It's just stupid symbolic movement that you're doing.
because if you listen to the prime minister in his initial speeches, he
Hmm.
sounded like आप घर में रहिए,
Yeah,
कोरोना
yeah,
आपके लिए बैठे बैठे बाहर मर जाएगा. That was
right.
exactly what it sounded like. You
He
were
all, but
not saying.
he also said to clap and bang the
Yeah,
bartans.
I mean, I'm not even going into that. I mean, that's so obvious. I'm not even criticizing it. But even now, when I sometimes read those speeches of March, April 2020, it's appalling. It's appalling because you're not just the elected leader of the country. You've got the, I mean, presumably you've got the best advisors in the country. Some of the best scientists in the country are supposed to be advising you. Is that what you tell people? You never told them why you're asking them to stay in. You just, it was entirely like,
So the
yeah,
to
tell
play
me.
devil's advocate for a second, the only thing you can say in defense of all the ministers PM downwards is the fact that they were caught unaware and weren't equipped to deal with it. And hence they were trying to figure out in their own minds. So these are clutching at straws, clap or just stay at home and just wear the mask and don't come out. It's almost like they don't have a plan. The only plan is just stay isolated, which is any idiot can tell you, okay, if you stay isolated, then obviously you probably won't get anything. But
No,
I'm
I,
talking
I
about a
would
prop.
I would really blame our scientific community. I don't know if
Really?
they told them that. Yes, because you did you tell them that this is how it's going to happen? And some of those people I hear every day, Dr. VK Paul, for example, he's been
Hmm.
at the forefront. He's such an important person in all of this.
He's the Fauci of
Um,
India.
yeah, and he's so the prime minister is not a technical person. Ministers are not supposed to know these things, even if they have the health ministry. Okay, our health minister is
For
a
God's sake,
doctor.
they should be leaning on the scientists. You're right. We don't expect
Uh,
someone to, which is very purely a specialized field like virology or whatever it's called. Yeah.
right. So the lockdown was something that we lifted out of. I mean, for want of a better word, we lifted out of first world countries and did it here without understanding our
Correct.
situation, whether we need it or not. What is
We
our
copied them. You're
situation?
right.
Our situation, both in terms of social security and in terms of disaster preparedness, in terms of health infrastructure. How does a lockdown help? What it did essentially was your TB reporting went down. After years and years, we were trying to bring TB reporting to a certain level. You locked everything down. You put everybody, all your field workers on COVID duty. TB got neglected. And we are going to pay the price of this over the next 5 years. COVID or no COVID, TB is over the next 5 years going to kill many, many more people
Oh God, it's like
because of
a
this lag.
many-headed hydra. There's this
Yeah,
one vaccine. This one COVID is causing all other
yeah,
things to come as well. You're like the
yeah.
voice of doom now. Should I emigrate? What is the option? Huh? I can cross into Nepal in 15 minutes. Is that the answer?
um, could be.
Well, but you've still given now you explained it that it's a bit of stroke of luck. Can we would you say this from what your knowledge that you've gleaned so far from all this, that this virus comes and goes on its own, in a way it seems to have a shelf life like it did in the first wave?
No, no, no,
No. So then
no.
how does
So
then what
it,
happens?
it's like you're scared. So you either you stay in, or when you can't stay in, you're very careful. You wear masks. So again, when I go to walk my dogs, till about 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, the number of people I would see wearing masks, that has gone down now, and it will go
Immediately.
down. It will go
100%.
down. Huh? Yeah. So
As
over time, yeah.
No, no, you're right. So the Sangeets will start, the weddings will start, we'll go into Diwali and all that. The last 4 months of the year are the more festive season in India, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So that's going to happen. But I don't blame anyone for that. What do you want people to do? Do you really think they're going to live like, what's it, monks or swamis, which of course is part of
Um,
the plan?
no, that's because that's not doable over the long term. We really, right now, we really need to vaccinate fast.
Correct.
That is not what we are doing. So I stopped the book on 16th of January, which is when the vaccination program started, because I thought now that vaccines are here,
All
we
good.
we'll see another wave, but that wave will not throw us completely off guard because we'll have some protection. But for some reason our government thought that we will never get another wave and we can go slow, and this is not my imagination. People have told me in the government that why should we vaccinate everybody? We will not. And who knows, by the time we go to this group, the COVID, the pandemic will end. This was their thinking somehow. I don't know why.
Well, yeah, I suppose they wanted to save money and the effort at the end of the
Yeah,
day, and also the
yeah.
feeling that a lot of, if you look divide humanity, some people will be less affected, younger, etc., etc., etc. So they thought they will just get the old and the sick first.
Uh, yeah, but then when the second wave hit, we realized so many young people died.
Yeah, but
I
nobody
mean,
knew that before. This is a hindsight, no? Before everybody thought the young people are safe. That was the general
no, but they also died because these were preventable deaths. They died because your health infrastructure was incapable of
collapsed.
coping.
100%.
Yeah,
Hundred
people
percent.
died waiting for treatment. People
No,
died
you're
in.
right. And people, well-heeled people died. So just imagine what happens down the economic strata.
Right,
I mean, you have no chance in hell if you're without money, first, or
right,
influence, firstly.
right.
Yeah. And let me warn you, Delhi is the city of influence, not Mumbai. Mumbai, when you call, people don't take the phone only. Delhi, of course, is much better because everybody has a one minister or MLA in there, some community or family. Avantika, do you have anyone?
No, I don't. My
Oh,
family
how
is in
sad.
Calcutta, actually.
Oh, you have no influence in Delhi whatsoever. And please be
No,
careful. Wear a mask day and night. Where are the dogs? Are the dogs there?
dogs are here. They're sleeping.
Oh, don't disturb them. They're very important. What dogs are they? Desi
Uh,
doggies?
one is
Breeds?
desi, and one is a lab. So this
Oh,
the desi one is who I mean, he came to me at 5 weeks. So and then this guy got abandoned at 9 months. The other
the
one,
lab.
the lab,
Wow.
yeah.
Wow.
So
So good
he came to
karma.
me 3 years ago.
So rescue dog and the 5 weeks is also like a rescue dog because that's a bit early. Yeah. Excellent.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
the mother died.
See, so you have that maternal instinct. You're looking after two dogs who needed help, in a sense. You should run the country.
I know.
No, because you write your second book about how women have done better as leaders. It's so clear. We've got 6 examples from high-profile countries, but there are many more. When you look down, women in departments which they are heading, where the local areas the performance has been better, who will not be heralded or heard of. But
And
the
then those
100%,
women
it's got
have
to do with.
lost their jobs also. Take Kerala.
Well, yeah, well, now see, it's a male-dominated society. We have to fight that. That will take some time. But in the meantime, I'm saying for this situation, we needed the women to take over. If you ask me, the empathy level of the woman is always going to be better than the man's, and the idea of nurturing and helping those who are fallen or need help is more natural for the female than it is for the male. I think there's no doubt about that. Avantika, please don't argue with me. I'll get angry and cry. I'm the only
No,
Indian who gets angry and cries. Oh no, 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 sorry. I'm not. What am I saying? I'm not.
you
I'm
had
saying nothing.
stiff,
No, no, no.
stiff
Shh, us.
competition.
We have to work. Both of us have to work after this show. Let's call in, take a break, and for 2 seconds, as we call in Silvery, a young disenchanted friend who's very unhappy with his childhood. Not childhood, but his 20s are snatched away from him. Silvery, come and meet Avantika. Be a nice boy. You can ask
Hi,
anything you want to
Avantika.
know about lockdown because she's written this book, which is like a holistic look, and it's from what we gather, she's tried to be as unprejudiced as possible or non-prejudiced,
Yeah,
whatever the word is.
yeah.
So, and she gives full marks to coincidence and karma and other forces saving us beyond the capacity of administrators and even the scientific community or the scientist community. Huh.
Yeah.
Avantika, this is a young man who's had one dose, one vaccine.
And
Bolo.
I have one dose, yes. So I
Yeah.
have a question before that, before we get to the AMAs. Recently, there were all these international news outlets and even national news outlets that were talking about how India might have been underreporting its deaths by 5 to 7 times.
She said that
Uh,
for sure.
for sure. Are you
Five to
sure
seven
of this?
times. 5 to 7
No,
as in
because 5 to 7 times, like multiplied by 5 to 7 times, is
so
what the actual
500%.
number is.
500%.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. So what my
Avantika,
question is
that's
that
a bit of a big figure.
But all of these articles were also saying perhaps, like the terminology was perhaps by 5 to 7 times, maybe by
Because
5
how
to
can
7
you
times.
know for sure? Nobody can know for sure.
Yeah, so exactly. So what
Right.
I'm asking is that what are the
I mean,
probabilities of it is
take the
actually
Kumbh
exactly.
Mela, Sylvie, take
Yeah,
the Kumbh Mela, which we discussed, I think a couple of weeks back, when they've admitted
yeah,
that 25% minimum tests were fake. They went to this one
yeah.
lab and they
Yeah.
traced the thing. The one intrepid journalist like Avantika went and did it and found that it's just a hoax, complete hoax, and that's the minimum. Those are the figures they came up with. So it could be
Yeah.
much more, but they weren't able to tap into all the other ones who had used whatever clinics they used.
Correct.
So
Okay.
that,
Yeah.
yeah, sorry, go ahead, Avantika.
No, so I think we certainly undercounted deaths, and I'll just give a small example. So your case fatality rate is basically what? You have deaths as the numerator and cases as the denominator. That's a fraction, right? Now, what the government did in May was they said our infection fatality rate is 0.05, and they calculated this. And when you take that infection fatality rate, actually in May we had something like 60 crore infections in the country.
Hmm.
Which is half the population, really, 63 crore, half the population. Now, the problem with that calculation is that you were factoring in undercounting in the denominator with which is the cases, but you were assuming that your death number is absolutely correct. This,
Yeah.
when in India, and this is a recorded fact, only 22% deaths pre-COVID were medically certified. So you are saying I'm undercounting cases, but I'm not undercounting deaths. Is a completely bizarre argument. And if you are accepting that you're undercounting cases, then you have to undercount deaths.
It actually
I'm not
makes
a
the figure look better because you undercounted the cases and say, okay,
yeah.
we have much more cases, but our deaths are only so much. So the figure is
That's
even
why they
more
did it.
skewed. Oh,
That's why they did it.
again, using deliberate.
Yeah, of course, yes.
I
Of
thought
course,
because
yes.
logistically it's a nightmare to actually, how do you get the figures of all the deaths, which may or may not be attributed to COVID? There's always a gray area where people actually die of something else
Yeah,
very
that's
often.
possible, but you can still get a realistic estimate. And if you don't just do COVID, you also do, other respiratory infections. You find out what is it, medically certified, not just COVID, but there are some other diseases that present with COVID like symptoms. If you include those as well,
Plus, a doctor
yeah.
is supposed to sign off, isn't he? Ki, this is the reason for the death on a death certificate, if I'm not mistaken.
Only 22%. If you look at the latest civil registration system data, only 22% deaths were medically certified, where you know that
Oh.
this is the cause of death, medical cause of death.
So, one sec, Avantika, are you saying this is an India only thing, or like all over the world, people try to make the for PR sake and the image of the country, China and all these other countries, wouldn't they be going in the same direction of trying to polish it a little bit, embellish it a little? It's almost like
I'm
you're creating
sure.
a biodata.
I'm sure China has done that. I don't know about the others, but this 22% is a very known figure right now,
Yeah,
because the
how can we
CRS.
expect how
Yeah.
can we expect any amount of accuracy if only 22% is such a low number of deaths are certified? Like, how can anything be accurate at all? This is ridiculous. So
Yeah, it
my
is.
question, another
But see,
follow
this
up to
nobody
the
talks about. Everybody talks about, oh, this is going to happen, that's going to happen. They miss the point about what the authorities and administration are doing. From that perspective, nobody's really looking from there. We're always looking at how it's targeting us and how we can escape
Yeah.
it and what's the next step. So I feel that the media also gets it wrong, except for people like Bontika, who are three people in the country who want to look at the underbelly of what's going on and have the guts to look at it face on. Most media, let's face it, is almost finished in India, is it not? Bontika, fair to say? Okay,
No,
I
I
won't.
don't
You
think.
don't comment. Leave it. Let it be. It's not
I
fair
have
to
to
say.
still work.
Yeah, leave it. I'm sorry. I'm a nutcase. Also, now listen. This show has been very heavy. Ours is a show filled with brevity and levity. Levity means less. Brevity means less. One of them
Yeah.
means less. So you have to go fast. And three jokes, Avantika, on COVID. Your turn.
Oh God, I know none.
India, Bangladesh. No, just kidding.
China.
China's made us look bad in the sense that they're even more cunning than we are. They not. Yeah.
Yeah. No, big joke is really the origin of the virus.
Which was it really a leak? But I still find it hard to believe that someone would deliberately try to do that to destroy humanity or to destroy other nationalities or whatever you want to call it. It's a bit of a stretch, don't you think?
Yeah, it is. And it's not an open question, but it's possible that you were doing something. I mean, you were developing something to
Yeah,
destroy
that's
humanity
possible.
as a bioweapon, and
There
then
was a
you
negative
you
premise in
made
the
a
first
mistake.
place. Yeah, Yeah.
You made a mistake.
God.
The leak was
We
a
are-
mistake.
We are two cynics. We have nothing nice, no kind word left. I think because we're both dog lovers. Having been exposed to canines for so long, we realize human beings are just crap. You just can't
I
save
agree.
them.
I completely
Honestly,
agree.
they fall
Yeah.
almost in every quality next to an animal of any kind, not just a
Yeah.
dog who's like our best friend. Sorry, Silvery, get a pigeon
Absolutely.
and you see the difference. A pigeon will never betray you in your entire life. He's a stupid animal, but he'll never betray you. Now let's move on to something lighter. What are the aim? There'll be nothing light. I think all the
There'll be
people
nothing
listening
light.
will also be
Yes.
no, because I think listening to us opened a few people's eyes, to questions that should be asked right from the beginning. Like, what was our first steps? Why the lockdown is too long? Why they're not thinking about different sectors of India? Who's going to account? What's the accountability for those 40 crore people wandering? I mean, that's my wife was in tears when we were talking about it when it happened. I mean, it's how can we should all commit suicide. How can you do that to other people? We just threw them out. This is my people, my tribe of rich upper class Indians who did it. Silver, your tribe. We are responsible for this.
Yeah.
And for that, I mean, maybe go to hell. It's look at what the West will write about us, or the other countries will write about us later on this one factor alone. Avantika, am I right?
Completely. It was.
You'll see.
I mean, there's nothing like this that has ever happened in any country. I think. I mean, partition happened, but partition was somebody else partitioning us.
Yeah.
What kind of government does this?
Not to endorse that is also ridiculous, because but here I'm saying these are people who work for you. It's almost like your lesser relatives that you just throw out. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just amazing. And then people fighting, don't let them back in. The guy's calling, he wants his job, and he mustn't come here, we don't want him, that kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Anyone who wanted their house help to come back, they were being ridiculed. Okay, how can you do this?
Yeah.
They were like
Correct.
being shamed into wanting that.
Yeah.
Like,
It
if
was
you're
like
just helping out your driver, if you're helping out your driver or someone who works for you, how is that a bad thing? You should be respected more. But it was a complete opposite.
And he has every right to work. We all have to work. This
Yep.
lockdown, like she mentioned in the beginning, has to have an end to it. We can't just lock down. We might as well then just all die. There's no point to it. Chalo, where was the humor? You were going to bring something funny for me. This is it. This is very scary. I'll tell you what the humor is. Coming soon, lockdown 3. Be prepared. Scouts motto.
I have a few AMA questions. Should I get to that?
Yeah, please.
Okay. The first one comes in from Prakhar Sharma. So all the AMAs that I have, you guys have already touched upon a little bit of them. So it'll be like expanding more on what you guys have already talked about. So Prakhar Sharma asks, with the amount of faith that I and a lot of others have in the current Indian government, I don't think India is going to come even close to its target of vaccinating most Indians by the end of the year.
4%.
What do you think the possibility of that
Today our
happening?
score is at 4%, and we have given all the papers have carried a story about number 2 in the world in terms of numbers. We are talking about how you forge
Numbers,
and make
yeah.
it sound like a great truth. So numbers, we are number 2 in the vaccines that have gone out, because China's population is 1.5, ours is 1.3. So they are 1 and we are 2, because so many people have been vaccinated. What is the percentage? It's 4. What is America? 46. What is Britain? 49. What is other countries like Israel? 70. Singapore is ready to start work, saying we will take on the virus. Herd immunity will happen. We have crossed that 60% magic figure. We are 4, but we are world number 2. World number 2.
This is actually a very old model. Old model in the sense, first wave, our problem was testing. So every day we would give out our numbers in, we would say cases per million lowest in the world, deaths per million lowest in the world. We are testing the most in the world. Testing was never per million. So now that model has been shifted to vaccinations. So our cases per million are still like one of the lowest, deaths per million still one of the lowest. But when it comes to vaccinations, then we don't want per million. Then we only want number of doses, not even the number of people.
doses. Sorry, that's the exact phrase.
Doses.
Number of doses, number 2. And closing in on China. Number 1. Both these countries telling their citizens, maar diya, all done. Superb. And 4 and 5% will be the final scorecard. Anyway. Yeah.
And and to answer the question, I don't believe we will do anything like the full population by year end, because already, May we were saying, no, we don't have vaccines. May we said we'll have 216 crore doses.
We're at 4%. It's July 1st, you can say. So in 5 months, we have to go from 4% to 100%. I can't see that happening. And plus, there will be elections. There'll be another Kumbh. There'll be all kinds of things to look forward to. So, yeah. Looking great. All good.
So, but you know what will start happening? You know what will start happening? I think, isn't it possible that India starts just falsifying vaccination reports? Ke, haan, isko vaccine ho gaya, yeah, he's also done with the vaccine. Is that also a possibility?
if the
That-
epidemic gathers momentum, it'll be tough to do, no?
that may be a little difficult because you've all this COVID and all. I'm sure you can break it, but to what extent can you fudge data there? I'm not sure. But if the same government that has developed COVID, I'm sure can find a way to fudge if it wants to.
Yeah. Okay. Fair.
My objective looking journalist is slowly leaning towards the left. I can see. The longer we talk to her, the more we'll get more and more out of her. The trust towards the left side is very clear. Okay.
Alright.
Anything other than COVID in the AMAs?
There's one cricket question if you want.
Please ask her. She hates cricket. We can get into that.
I know nothing. I don't even know the players.
Okay, so
That's
give
fine.
me 1 second.
But you've gone out of it's like
here-
racism. You've gone out of your way to not like cricket, have you not?
Yes,
Let's be
Kind of.
honest, Avantika.
kind
You
of.
said,
Yeah,
I don't want to give this game any more time.
because it takes away all the resources. It's like
Okay,
what
we have a-
some countries play it. Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, there's a non-COVID question, non-cricket question also. But it's still kind of serious. So, okay, you guys be the judge. This one comes in from Harvesh Kasad. He asks, yesterday talking about luxury versus slum. So a few episodes back, we were talking about luxuries versus slum. And why does the Indian ministry and Indian media condemn when foreign media posts a story about slums here? Why do you think people here find it hard to accept the fact that slums are a reality in India?
Well, when Rihanna tried to mention a couple of things on Twitter, we were told never to listen to her music again. I personally don't like her music, but after Twitter, I wanted to listen to her. Yeah. Avantika, what do you have to say? When Westerners expose Indian frailties,
I think I think to be fair, if they do it in the right way, it's fine. But a lot of the Western reporting, I find really
they're looking for that.
wanting
Yeah.
they're looking for that, and I find them really lacking in ground level knowledge. You just prod them a little bit, and you find stuff that is very obvious to us, and they don't see it. Also, sometimes the questions they ask, they are so skewed on one side. It's like, this is what will sell about India. I'm not saying that things were not very grim. I'm simply saying that also Western coverage, and I have noticed this consistently, Western
Hey,
They took
Because she
her
leaked-
down. Yes.
action was taken and we lost her
Yeah.
right in the
Yeah.
middle. It's
Wow.
unbelievable.
She leaned a little too much to the left. So the government was like, okay, gotta
she was
go.
putting no punches towards the end. The first half, she was very diplomatic, and everybody was talking in metaphors, and it's all great. And now suddenly this
Yeah.
happened, so we seem to have lost her. But we're
Yeah.
almost done with the show. If she comes back in 2 minutes, great. Sylvie, let's look at the cricket question till then. Give her 2 minutes
Great
to come
question.
back.
Yeah, this
so I
one
can
you
at
will love
least-
this question.
Yeah.
This one comes in from Anuj Sharma. He says, "Hi Cyrus, what are your thoughts?" Okay, Avantika's back. I'll
Yeah.
Avantika, the
Yeah.
government is listening to you. Or
I
the
think so.
Western governments are listening to you because you're criticizing them right now. But your
Yeah.
point is great. I totally agree with you because whenever I travel, also India pieces, they seem to have a prejudice. Let's find what's murky in India. It's in their mind. In a way, there's a little jealousy. The so-called paper tiger floating around, suddenly punching above its old weight, and maybe, but definitely poverty, corruption. And it is there, so they can exploit it. They're always
Yeah.
looking for that rather than looking for the lovely stories. Not so
Yeah.
much about our startups or all the NGOs that do good work, some of them at least do good work. The humane stories that we have in the country also, not so much about that, more about this. So you think that's the slant that they have and that causes a little bit of a problem with their reporting?
Completely throughout COVID, I have had calls from Western media, like to come in and talk about the situation. And I have seen how those calls only come when things are bad.
Yeah. So see, now we are balanced. For those listening to this program, it's not like she's anti-Indian government. She's also anti-Western governments, Western media. And so she's been very fair to say that most people suck and most people in authority have done a terrible job, except for 5 or 6 female leaders who we will not mention again and again because it will sound like we work for them, which I will happily will from what we've gathered so far. Before we end,
should foreign media be blamed for that though? Because I'm sure even we are guilty of that, right? Only when something is wrong is happening abroad, even our media ends up covering it only then.
No, so you're
Tell
talking about the
me-
fact that sorry, go on.
I have a question there. India was one of the very few countries to actually have its own vaccine. Nobody called me up to talk about that.
Yeah,
That's very
and
true.
amongst
Yeah,
the first.
you're right.
Yeah.
I mean, so early on, and it's a vaccine that works.
Yeah.
Yep, absolutely.
But I get Silvery's point also, which is that maybe we always want to find the murky side because that's what sells your copy. I mean, you know that better than us being a journalist. If you want to just sell the copy, just find the controversy, just find the. So, in that sense, what he's saying is it may not be so much racist or anti nationalistic as just human nature that we always were
That
trying to find out
perfectly
from
possible.
across.
Yeah, perfectly
Yeah.
possible. Yes.
So, we'll let
Yes.
them go. Let's just attack our own. Okay. We're running out of time, but do we
Yeah.
have one more that we can
Yeah,
last squeeze in?
we have one.
Yeah.
Can I ask the cricket one, because I think Cyrus, you will really like this one.
Yeah.
So,
I
Avantika,
wanted
if you
to
don't
talk
mind.
about tennis for 2 minutes also, so we can lead from there. Yeah.
All right. So this one comes in from Anuj Sharma. He says, "Hi Cyrus, what are your thoughts on Michael Holding taking a dig at IPL and
Oh,
T20?"
that's not really a cricket
So he said.
question. Yeah, go on.
So basically, he
I'll,
said, "Is it fair to say that T20 isn't cricket, or is it about time that people
okay.
accept that the world has changed and they need to deal with it?"
Firstly, Michael
So
Holding's book is on racism. Okay, which he's come out with. So it's really not about cricket. Cricket is incidental in the entire book. It's all about how, from the sportsman's perspective, how racism hasn't changed from the 80s when he played, late 70s when he played, till now. If anything, it's grown more overt in many
hmm,
places. And so his whole book is about that. In that, he's spoken about he doesn't like this format, but that is old versus new kind of thing, they don't have time for this T20 format, which doesn't give the bowler a chance. I'll just quickly say this much. You saw a test match in conditions where the ball would swing and seam at the different times of the day. Nobody got 100. Okay,
hmm,
no Indian got a 50, and the match was settled with 200 run scores in all 4 innings. Okay, that just tells
hmm,
you the difference between Test cricket in proper conditions and T20 flat wicket bullies, where anybody with a good eye, powerful arm, the boundaries are brought in, and just a batting paradise. So he's not completely off the mark. It makes cricket into a batting sport. Okay, and it's
hmm,
great. It brings people in, but he's not off the mark. If you really like Test cricket, it's different. I think Avantika hates the game, so she wouldn't want to say too much. But I'll put it this way: you play tennis on 4 surfaces, well, 3.5 surfaces, and the whole idea is because they're almost like different games. We saw French Open,
Yeah.
hundreds of strokes in each rally. I think that
Hmm.
five-setter, the Djokovic, the
Yeah.
male final, at least was
Yeah.
fabulous. You know what I mean? What a
Yeah.
romantic story that is on perhaps the hardest place to play. But then the same players on grass, totally different. And very few. That's why Djokovic, for me, is probably the greatest of all time, no matter what they say, with Federer running him very close, because he actually can play on all surfaces and can
Hmm.
play from behind, from 0-2 on a French court, or he had almost that score in 2019 with Federer against him. So the same thing applies with cricket. The test of character that a test match shows you, or Grand Slams on different
Right.
surfaces show you, that's what you want in sport, that battle, that romance. I mean,
Yeah.
that's where your blood rushes and you want to see that. And unfortunately, T20, it just made it so passive and easy. It's like pop music versus classical music. Let's not start. We sound
Hmm.
like snobs. We're not really
Hmm.
snobs. We're just educated. Right?
Hmm.
Avantika,
So
you're not listening
talking of
anymore.
no, I am talking of tennis and romance. I started watching tennis because of Steffi Graf, and there can be nothing any more romantic than her. So
Fabulous. Yeah. What a player, really. So who do you pick? Who do you pick? Because we're doing this while Wimbledon is going on. Who do you pick?
no, no, I
Women's tennis now, to all the East European names are driving me mad.
Serena has just withdrawn. So I mean,
Yeah, so that's a huge blow. Osaka
uh,
gone, huge blow.
and it's
Yeah.
very difficult. I think the if anything, all these Grand Slams have become so open now, in the sense, anybody can go anywhere and anybody can reach the
Also, the
final.
women's field, to be fair, last 12 months, with due respect to Osaka, is far more competitive. There's no question.
Yeah,
I think the male field, those big three are still, hovering above everyone. I mean, that
yeah,
Tsitsipas couldn't close it after 2-0 up against this old
yeah.
man who's going to be 35 now. So you can see that they still
And
hold
he's
sway.
what, 23, 24 years old. And
He's at
man,
his
how he
peak.
looks. How he looks.
Okay, now you've gone into your different. Me,
Tsitsipas.
sport loving, you've gone into that. This is like my mother liking Imran Khan, which is not allowed when I was a young boy, or my sister saying, "Oh, he's so handsome." All the women in my time in the 80s used to say, "Oh, good looking," and used to get really angry. It's a cricket match. Don't come and look at
So
ogle at
I
Imran.
was watching that match and I said, "Oh my God, Tsitsipas actually looks like a Greek god."
Oh, I didn't think of that. That's a fair remark. And what about my Djokovic? He looks like an Indian.
I liked him. No, but he's vaccine hesitant. That kind of killed it for me.
He's no vaccine hesitant. He raised money for the referees of the Baltic area in the middle of that first COVID mess. He's a lovely guy. He's vaccine hesitant in the fact that he's taken it, hasn't he, in the end?
I'm not sure if he did, but in the beginning he said all kinds of rubbish about the vaccine, which
Well,
I
if he
think was
didn't,
very.
and he wins a second, almost back-to-back Grand Slam, if he wins Wimbledon as well, then boss, this vaccine is wrong. We've all been proven. This vaccine is a waste of time. The guy who didn't take it is the best player in the world. Unbelievable.
Yes.
All right. Listen, Abantika, I know we've been pulling your leg a little bit at the end, but thank you for that eye-opening book that you've written. I hope people go out and read it. And I hope you write a second book, which is, if this ever concludes, a perspective, I wouldn't call it judgment, but a perspective looking back at what went right and what went wrong. And like you said in the beginning, it's not about wrong. I'm sure we'll make mistakes, is whether they were deliberate mistakes. That's the
Yeah.
crime, nothing else,
Yeah.
right?
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you so
Okay.
much for
All
doing
right.
this.
Our pleasure. Thank you,
Thank you,
Avantika.
Avantika.
Silvery, wear your masks and go to sleep. All right.
Bye. Bye.
Bye-bye.